to events of that caliber, you know. I'm sure that will take its course at some point in my career, but right now, this is Sucio talk, baby, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm at the restaurant in Meadowood. I am working my way up the ladder, right? I started on Garde Manger. I was working with my boy Carl. Carl Alexander, I learned a lot from Carl Alexander. So, you know, you're on the Garde Manger line with a cook who's worked at 11 Madison Park. You know, so he's coming from a truly disciplined kitchen. Daniel Hume out there. So he comes in and, you know, or I come in rather, right? He was already there. So first I'm on tableside commis, right? So I should explain that first. When I got to the restaurant at Meadowood, I was commis first. I worked at 6 in the morning. And at the time, I had a girlfriend. You know, we had one car, so I had to, you know, drop her off first, and then go to work, or get dropped off by her first, and then she would go to work with the car, which means I would have to take the bus later. So I would have to walk from Meadowood to the center of St. Helena, which is not a fucking nice walk, just because you have to cross this major highway that just feels like you're going to get hit by a car at any moment. But thankfully, no cars hit me there. Cars hit me later on in life, but not there. So we're flowing through, right? I'm working tableside commis, going out to the tables, I'm saucing things, I'm talking about dishes, I'm giving kitchen tours. And this was the first time where I had seen when the guests come in, the entire kitchen welcomes them. You know, so the guests would come in and everybody say, "Hi, welcome." And, you know, they'd leave and everybody say, "Good night, thank you." You know, and that's what we were programmed to say when they came in and they left. And, you know, for a lot of people, that some people that came through would be like, "Oh, that kind of seems fake that you guys are saying that." But I fucking meant that shit, you know? Like, from the bottom of my heart, I want you to have the best time you possibly can at the restaurant. I didn't want you there to have a bad time, and it should never feel like you are doing a chore when you're doing what you love, right? If this is truly what you love, then love it. Don't say you love it and then complain about it. That is the worst quality, you know? Really makes work negative. You don't want that. You want to be positive. You want to be cool, man. You want to be cool. So working at the restaurant in Meadowood. Then after that, you know, it's one night. It's a hairy night that people are getting fucking roasted left and right. All of a sudden, this kid gets kicked out of the kitchen. And then he makes a mistake of looking back right before he's about to leave the kitchen, and chef goes, "Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You know what I mean? Don't look back here, motherfucker." So he leaves, and he looks at me and he says, "Get on Garde Manger or you're done too. You know, or you're going home too, basically." And, oh, there is my alarm. My 9:45 order fish alarm for the Charter Oak. This is, you know, you got to remind yourself to do those things, or else you miss out. And let me tell you something about buying fish. You only have a certain time before the cutoff of the company, right? They cut you off at 1 or 2, right? That's when you can't place any more orders. And sometimes they call you at 4 in the morning before they leave the warehouse to let you know whether or not they have your fish, or, you know. So it's on you to either have your ringer on high so you can talk to somebody, or you better hope you wake up on time and catch it, because if not, you're going to be in a world of hurt when you wake up at 7 a.m. and you know that your fish is not on its way. Again, another rant, but that's okay, because this is Sucio, talk. Okay? As I'm drinking more beer here, it's getting a little bit crazy. But that's okay. And I keep saying that's okay. Because it is. Alright? So I'm at the restaurant in Meadowood. I move on. Right? I go to Garmager. And now I'm working with Carl. One of the most organized cooks that I've ever worked with in my life. Organized. Knows what he's doing. The man. So I'm truly grateful to be able to learn from him because he taught me organization. He made me rewrite my prep list every single day. Right, after a while, I recognized that it's only his crazy way of doing it. You don't really have to do that. But he also recognized that I was a dumbass, and I learned that way, right? I had to do things over and over again. I had to write it out. I had to see it in order to be able to perform. So that's what we did, you know. So then I went to Snacks, which is Canapé Station. Got my ass handed to me there. We did some cool events. Wired by Design was a cool event, and we did, you know, an event at Skywalker Ranch right outside of the symphony recording room. And that was cool because, you know, you could kind of hear it through the cracks. And 12 Days was cool. I just talked about that. And, you know, that was the cool thing about the restaurant on Meadowood is we were always doing guest things. We did fucking Ryan Seacrest's birthday party. You know, and that was a trip. Ryan Seacrest's birthday party was amazing. We did it at the Cave at the Reserve, right? And then afterwards, we found out that the front of the house was going to go party with them. And there was no fucking way that we were going to let the front of the house party with these people and we were going to party with them. You know, I'm talking about Randy Jackson from American Idol. I'm talking about the Kardashians. I'm talking about Kanye. I'm talking about all these people at Ryan Seacrest's birthday party. J-Lo was there. I don't think she was at the club scene, but she was definitely there because I fed her foie gras. Not to her mouth, just like on her plate, but I was inches from her. Goddamn Puerto Rican goddess. J-Lo. Where was I? I'm going to say it one more time. Working at the restaurant in Meadowood. Yeah, it was great. So, you know, Garmager with Carl, he taught me organization. Then I went on, you know, canapes. That was great. Then I get moved to Meat Station, which doesn't happen. Usually you go canapé to fish. I went to Meat Station. They decided to give me a shot. It was between me and this other kid. The other kid was newer, but he had more experience. But they said, hey, what the hell? You know, Dave's been, you know, sucking dick for a while, so we might as well have him work Meat Station, right? He's gotten his ass handed to him a lot. So they let me work Meat Station, and I fucking take the bull by the horns, you know, suffer a little bit here and there, and Chef John had my back always. Chef Kat taught me the ways, and I'm truly and forever grateful for their tutelage and what they were able to teach me. So I'm working the Meat Station, and, you know, when I went out to the Ocean Drive Blunt Cruise that second time on a bike and said that I was going to work at the restaurant on Meadowood and be sous chef in 3 years, it happened. I became sous chef in 3 years of working at the restaurant on Meadowood. And, you know, there's people that work there for 1 year and got a job as a sous chef, and that doesn't fucking matter. What matters is your journey, what you're doing. Fuck the guy next to you. You know what I mean? Not in a mean way. Not saying you need to go out of your way to fuck that person, but, like, don't pay attention to what they're doing, man. Everyone needs to do their jobs. Everyone needs to pay attention to what they're doing. And if they do that, then everything's going to be fine. Just like politicians shouldn't be scientists. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. So we're in the kitchen at the restaurant on Meadowood, and I'm having a great time. I'm cooking the meat up in the Jasper. You know, I'm doing 12 days. It's great. I'm fucking having catastrophic services. I'm just getting destroyed. And all that was made possible by Chef Jake Rojas, because if he hadn't given me the tough skin that it would have, that it took to work at these restaurants, then, I don't know where I would have been. I think I would have been more afraid. I think that in a lot of ways, him breaking his leg was a blessing, because it taught me how to be a leader. It taught me how to adapt and overcome. Which at the end of the day is really what we're doing as chefs. We're adapting and overcoming to the day's challenges. Just like the story I said about the fish, you never know. Some days you just might not have fish come in. And that's if you're getting it the fresh way. If you're cheating and going to get some shit fish from some supermarket for your restaurant, that's another story. But if you truly are getting the best ingredients, sometimes shit happens. It's so sentimental when you talk about food. So I loved the restaurant. I loved Chef Kat's training. I thought that her and Chef John had great food minds. Just the dishes that they would come up with, and you're like, how do you even think of that? And so much respect. Just so much respect. And they're about to open the Yangban Society in LA. So shout out to Chef Kat and Chef John and their family, opening a restaurant. About to show us what's up. So everybody fucking bow down, son, because you're about to be... I'm not going to say Flavor Town, because that's homie's saying. And big up to him for all that money he donated to small businesses. A lot of people hate on Guy Fieri, but he got my respect with that shit. Who else did that? Did I do that? Did Thomas Keller do that? No. Guy Fieri did that. He donated that money. So, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm a fucking serious chef. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take it seriously. And for the longest time, I thought that guy was a clown. And now I'm like, he just shut us all the fuck up. Donating that much money to small businesses is much more than any other celebrity chef did. And I'm not saying that none of the celebrity chefs did anything, or that chefs didn't do anything as a whole, because we fucking banded together and we fucking did shit. But that right there, from Guy Fieri, oh, you're kidding me. We're getting off track here. So I think working at the restaurant, no matter what, the biggest challenge for me was the mental aspect of it. I think I got strong with Chef Jake, but there was definitely some nights working at the restaurant where you question the fact, like, am I doing the right thing? Is this right for me? Should I be a chef? Should I cook for the rest of my life? Because at certain moments, it felt like you couldn't do it. It felt like you just didn't have it in you. And I think people go through that a lot, and I don't think people talk about it enough. I think people are scared to talk about how they really feel sometimes. And I'm not telling everybody to overshare, because sometimes you got to keep that deep dark shit to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you think of some shit, you're like, I can't tell nobody I thought about that. That's nuts. You can't help your mind sometimes. It's just traveling, you're watching movies, you're listening to music, it's weird. Weather, whatever. It happens. And here I am trailing off again, talking about the restaurant on Meadowood.